This is Chapter 3 entitled Legal, Ethical, and Professional Issues in Information Security. In this chapter, we'll describe the functions of and relationships among laws, regulation, and professional organizations in information security. We'll differentiate between laws and ethics. We'll identify major national laws that affect the practice of information security. And we'll explain the role of culture as it applies to ethics in information security.
To minimize liability and reduce risks from electronic and physical threats, and to reduce all losses from legal action, information security practitioners must thoroughly understand the current legal environment, stay current with laws and regulations, and watch for new and emerging issues by educating the management and employees of an organization on their legal and ethical obligations and the proper use of information technology and information security. The rules that members of a society create to balance the individual rights to self-determination against the needs of the society as a whole are called laws. The key difference between laws and ethics is that laws carry the authority of a governing body, and ethics do not. Ethics in turn are based on cultural mores. Some ethical standards are universal. Even if there is no breach of criminal law, there can still be liability, legal responsibility. Liability includes the legal obligation to make restitution for wrongs committed, whereas due care means the organization acts legally and ethically. Due diligence means it ensures compliance with this level of expected behavior. Under the U.S. legal system, any court can assert its authority over an individual or organization if it can establish jurisdiction. This is sometimes referred to as long-arm jurisdiction when laws are stretched to apply to parties in distant locations. Policies function as organizational laws, complete with penalties, judicial practices, and sanctions to require compliance. Because these policies function as laws, they must be crafted and implemented with the same care to ensure that they are complete, appropriate, and fairly applied to everyone in the workplace. The difference between a policy and a law, however, is that ignorance of a policy is an acceptable defense. Thus, for a policy to become enforceable, it must meet the following 5 criteria: dissemination, review, comprehension, compliance, and uniform enforcement. Civil law comprises a wide variety of laws that govern a nation or state and deal with the relationships and conflicts between organizations and people. Criminal law addresses activities and conduct which are harmful to society and is actively enforced by the state. Law can also be categorized as private or public. Private law encompasses family law, commercial law, and labor law, and regulates the relationship between individuals and organizations. Public law regulates the structure and administration of government agencies and the relationships with citizens, employees, and others. Historically, the United States has been a leader in the development and implementation of information security legislation to prevent misuse and exploitation of information and information technology. The United States has demonstrated a clear understanding of the importance of securing information and has specified penalties for people and organizations that breach U.S. civil statutes. The CFAA is the cornerstone of many computer-related federal laws and enforcement efforts. The severity of the penalty depends on the value of the information obtained and whether the offense is judged to have been committed for the following reasons: for purpose of commercial advantage, for private financial gain, or in furtherance of a criminal act. The preceding law and many others were further modified by the USA Patriot Act of 2001, which provides law enforcement agencies with broader latitude to combat terrorism-related activities. Another key law, the Computer Security Act of 1987, was one of the first attempts to protect federal computer systems by establishing minimum acceptable security practices.